Welcome to East Coast LQ Reviews, and today I have a pretty well-known bourbon. This is Angel's Envy Bourbon, and it is Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in port wine barrels, 43.3% alcohol by volume, 86.6 proof. So this is made by Lincoln Henderson, a pretty well-known bourbon maker or bourbon distiller. On this little card on the neck, it says, after 40 years spent upholding bourbon's strict traditions and heritage, our master distiller decided to try something new. Lincoln Henderson began with an exceptional Kentucky straight bourbon and finished it in ruby port wine barrels for up to 6 months, resulting in a whiskey of unprecedented smoothness and character, and it says this unique process imbues the spirit with flavors of vanilla, ripe fruit, maple syrup, toast, and bitter chocolate for an unconventionally delicious finish. So as you guys can see, I have drank a little bit of this already, and I do like it. I am a big fan of it already. So I got the whiskey jug pulled up. So it says region Kentucky, USA. Blender is Lincoln Henderson, who is now deceased, died in 2013. It says bottle for NASA Liquors, blend 28% A, 45% B, and 27% C. Not sure what that means. It says cast new charred oak in port pipes. Age, this is an NAS. ABV is 43.3%. My batch, I have batch number 49G and bottle number 2000. Price, on here it says 45. But I actually got this for around like $60. I've seen it in other places for around $75, so it depends on where you go, how much this is going to cost you. But it's totally worth money in my opinion. Before we get all into that, let's go over the color on this. So I'm going to pour into my nice little Glencairn here. So it definitely has a nice color to it. The whiskey jug calls it a butterscotch candy color. And that's pretty accurate. I can see that. As you guys can see, it's not too dark, but it definitely has a nice color to it. Has some nice color. Going up here on the whiskey jug, it says nose. Actually, whiskey jug gave this an 86 out of 100. And on the nose, they say corn, malty sweet, spice, candied citrus, and cocoa. So I'm picking up like a little bit of like a lemon peel, kind of that like candied citrus they're talking about. So it's really sweet. So I'm picking up a lot of caramel, butterscotch, kind of toffee, a little bit of honey. So it's got a great sweetness to it. Definitely has has like no alcohol smell to it at all. Picking up a little bit of that corn, definitely getting like a nice maltiness to it. Like I said, it smells extremely sweet. Not really picking up much of the cocoa. No, but I can see where they're getting that from. And it kind of has a little bit of like a cinnamon spice, kind of like you would get somewhat from a rye. So taste, it says corn, dried dark fruit, caramel, spice, and vanilla taffy. So let's go for the taste. So the taste on this is great. So you kind of get like a nice sweetness, and then you get a little bit of like a cinnamon kick, and it finishes with a nice oak and wood, and like a soft vanilla note. So I'm picking up a lot of the corn. For the dried dark fruits, picking up like raisins and plums, maybe a little figs. Picking up a nice caramel sweetness, nice butterscotch toffee sweetness to it. Like I said, it definitely has that like cinnamon spice kinda. It's not overly powering. So it's not as spicy as you would get from a rye spice, but it definitely has like a nice subtle spiciness to it. And like I said, that vanilla taffy kind of creates like a nice subtle vanilla taste. So it says finished long, corn, dusty spice, and grapefruit leather. So I do agree that this is long, but to me, I definitely get, like, on the finish, I get that cinnamon kick, like I said. And then I'm kind of picking up those barrel characteristics on the finish. So for this being an NAS, it does show a lot of those barrel characteristics. But yeah, overall, this is a great whiskey. I believe the guy who made this, Lincoln Henderson, was the master distiller for Woodford Reserve, and also he had a part in he contributed to the Gentleman Jack. But yeah, this guy totally knows his bourbons. If you really want a nice sweet bourbon, this is a great one to try out. And it just goes to show, when you start getting up in that $40 to $50, even $60 range, the flavor is just unbelievable compared to your like average, like Evan Williams, Jim Beam, all those kind of like I wouldn't say cheap whiskeys, but I'd say the more value brands. This definitely you can totally tell the difference once you start spending more money. So rating on this, I'm gonna give it a 8.5. With that being said, it's because the price is a little high, but it is worth it. So I probably would give it around a 9. If it wasn't kind of going towards the expensive range. But like I said, it's totally worth your money. So I recommend it all day, especially if somebody who loves bourbon. If you're somebody who's a big fan of bourbon, you definitely don't want to sleep on this one. This is definitely one that you guys definitely need to check out. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good bourbon for the money. It has a good sweetness to it. If you're somebody who likes a really, really sweet bourbon, this is a great one for you. So I guess Lincoln Henderson had a bunch of different casks that he was trying to finish this bourbon off with, and I guess he found that the port wine barrels was the perfect way to finish off this bourbon. I'm looking forward to checking out the Angel's Envy Rye. It's supposed to be finished in a Caribbean rum barrel, which sounds pretty cool. And then they have the cask strength. Not sure how much that is, but I've heard it's pretty expensive. But yeah, there you have it. If there's any other liquor beers you guys like to see on my channel or bourbons, definitely leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for my upcoming videos on liquor and beer. Thanks for watching. Cheers.